Spontaneous salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Are You Saurious? Episode number 11. I've been having a lot of fun. I'm so glad to be able to bring this show back to all of you. Been able to chat with a lot of phenomenal people. And speaking of phenomenal people, today is a very special episode because this gentleman that I'm about to introduce you to, he's done a heck of a lot in the short span of being a voice actor, and I cannot wait for him to tell you all about it. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Eddy de los Reyes, please. How you doing, Eddy?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for deciding to hang out with me on a lovely Friday morning.
Thank you for deciding to hang out with me. I was so excited to hear back from you. I'm like,
Yay! No, I love the name of the podcast so much. And that's why I was like, oh, I have to do this. Like dinosaurs, like, come on. Like, I mean, look, I'm all about it. And I love my reptiles. I even brought my my lizard Spike to hang out with us today. So
she's so cute.
Yeah, she's a good girl. She's a good girl. Look at her.
Woo. What species is she?
She is a bearded dragon. Oh, there she goes. She's getting anxious. She's a beardie. She's a cute little beardie. I've had her for about 2 years. My nephew was getting tired of her because he's a kid. So he was like, I don't have time to care for a lizard. I want to play with my friends. And I totally get that. And instead of having some other little, I mean, I've always loved lizards, you know, instead of having some other kid take care of it, I was like, I want the lizard. I grew up with iguanas, and Spike's my first beardie, though. I'm usually an iguana guy.
That's so cool. And she seems right at home, especially on your shoulder.
Yeah, I read somewhere, and all the lizards, the lizard kings and queens can you know, fact check this, but bearded dragons bond really easily to their owners. So it's like, it was just easier to just kind of like get attached to her. My iguanas were attached to me. They were comfortable with me. They knew it was safe. But like with Spike, like she is just at ease with me sometimes, or more frequently than the iguanas. But with the iguanas, I had to pet them a lot. Spike is just comfortable. She knows who I am. She knows what food is. She knows like where she can roam in the apartment. She knows where not to go. So she's pretty attached. Hello, babies. You want to go? Okay. As I say, she's attached. She's like, no, I'm not. And she jumps off my shoulder. All right.
Dad, don't embarrass me. I'm on camera.
Oh my God. I'm going to let her roam a little bit, actually. I'm going to set you loose. Go for it.
We've got a lot of things that I would love to talk with you about because
let's chat.
As I mentioned before, you've done a lot of things in a short span of time. And I want to hear more about everything, as much as possible, at least.
Yeah, of course, as much as possible.
So, tell everyone a little bit about who you are, Eddy. Who are you? Where do you come from? What's going on? What's the backstory?
What's the backstory? The lore. Here's the lore, everybody. My parents came from Ecuador. Both of them did in the 80s, 87. And you know, I was born here in sunny Los Angeles, actually in Hollywood. Born and raised here all my life. That's kind of where it all started. I just grew up in this town, knew the game, but never participated. I never like thought, oh, I'm in Hollywood, like I should be an actor. There was a point in my life where I thought, my parents came here for a reason. I should do something in the business. But that was like a thought I had randomly when I was like 5 or 6, or just some young childish age. I can't remember when I had it, but I remember thinking the thought, but I just kind of put that to the side for a bit. And then I ended up studying medicine, actually. So I went to school to be a physical therapist. You know, that kind of went from like, it kind of started like this. I was like, I'm going to be a doctor. And then like first year in college, I was like, oh God, this is hard, but fun, because I really enjoyed anatomy and I really enjoyed being able to memorize muscles and tendons and bones and be a science dork. And I got really into the biochemistry of it all. So learning about the hormones fascinated me. And that just kind of like like we said, I love dinosaurs. So learning about bones was like easy for me. I was like, oh my God, this bone right here attaches to all these muscles. And I was like ligaments. And I was like, oh, how do I transition this? Like, I can't be a dinosaur surgeon, unfortunately. So that was like, it kind of killed some motivation. And I dabbled in, a few things. Got my bachelor's in kinesiology, which is body mechanics. And then I had shadowed for a few hours at physical therapy clinics, got enough hours to apply to programs. I applied to a few programs and got in. And I also applied to a chiropractor program because I thought, hey, like, I love cracking my back. I can crack other people's backs. And I wanted to be, and I wanted to be a doctor, or at least I thought I did. But over time, I just kind of realized, maybe I was just kind of doing this for the wrong reasons. A lot of the reasons were like, it pays well. It's good money if you hustle, and I wanted to, I guess just you as a child, first generation American, my parents never pressured me to do anything. They were never like, you have to be a doctor, and they were like, that'd be cool. And my dad was really about it, and I was like, okay, sure, like I'll do that. And I had a moment like the first week of class where I was like, oh no, I'm living someone else's life. And kind of like when that happens, I feel that kind of happens with a lot of people. I didn't study theater. And then I eventually ended up realizing I was like, I think I might be like an actor, but I didn't like really have any like thing to go off of. So I started working during COVID right before COVID, I was working at a adult day program. It was for special needs adults, and it was caring for them, diaper changing, taking them out for activities. It was a really fulfilling job for me because I had been so me studying, and then COVID hits, and then I have no work. But my niece and nephew needed a nanny. They needed somebody that was close, and they needed somebody to like watch out for them. So I started doing that for my sister. And then she realized, she's like, you're really good with kids. And I was like, yeah, it's just my family. Like, no, it's just my family. So I eventually ended up having a little COVID pod with like 10 to 15 kids. And I started having the most fun, like working with the kids, like coloring, playing games, organizing activities was great. But I had the most fun when it was story time. And they had the most fun when it was story time, because it was like you wore different hats, and I had little things that I would do to like show different characters, and I'd be like, okay, you guys, like if we don't finish our lunch, we're doing this story Plain Jane. Sorry to anybody named Jane out there. I know I don't know. I feel bad when I say that, but I'm like, oh, there are people named Jane.
We love you, Janes. We love you, Janes.
We love you, Janes. I'm so sorry. It's just a thing. It's just a thing. I was like, oh man, now I feel bad for the Janes. Anyways, I was like, do you guys want like that's what I would say to the kids. I said, do you guys want like boring voices or silly voices? Silly voices. So I said, well, you better eat your lunch. Otherwise, no chewing, no viewing is what I would always say. And then I just realized, I was like, oh, I'm an actor. So that moment right there kind of got me into this path to voiceover. It's kind of who I am. I did a lot of fun things. I'm Hispanic, family from Ecuador, and that's my path to the stepping door, or like to the door of voiceover.
That's amazing. And such a big pivot to go from one field of being in the medical field and even getting a degree and working for some years in that department and assisting others. I especially love the program that you had mentioned that you were part of, helping adults and elderly people, because I always love when people give back to one another. It's like, it's overlooked a lot of times, but jobs like that are super important, and they impact so many lives for those who need it most.
And they're not easy, man. Like, and the amount of money that like people were being paid, like I totally understand why people do it. And I also understand like why it's a hard job, because on top of physically taxing and emotionally taxing, like it is not paid very well, at least in most spots that I'm aware of. But like you said, it is super rewarding, and I did leave feeling good because, I connect, and I've always been like a bit of that like I don't know. Like whenever I see like a day program, and I know the vans. I used to drive the vans and pick up the clients. We have to call them. I'd love picking them up and seeing them, taking out for activities. You know, like we started organizing a lot of things right before COVID, so it was like such a bummer. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's a good feeling to give back and to just help other people and make people smile.
That I'm right there with you, to just make someone's day and help them feel a little better in all the chaos that's going on.
Yeah,
at least one person, then my mission is done for the day. So yeah, I like that.
You got me, man. We've been smiling this whole time. Right before the podcast, we were talking a lot. So quota met.
all the time. Whenever I do the show and I'm just and I'm with guests, it's just I do it subconsciously, where I just love the experience and hearing what someone's journey has been like, because especially in an age of social media, we're so prone to looking at other people and saying, oh, well, they were always meant to do that. And they must have been doing this forever and they've got it all figured out. And when you listen to someone, it's like, they're people too. They've had ups, they've had downs, they've been lost in life. And I think that's what a lot of people, especially younger kids nowadays, are afraid of, is failure and being in a point of their time wherever they're like, oh, I'm lost. It's like, well, I'm lost. There must be something wrong. Like I messed up somewhere and I'm screwed up and there's no recovering. And as scary as that may be, it's far from the truth. That.
Yeah, no, it really is. And I was watching. I like to watch these YouTube videos. This guy, actually, I'll give him a shout out because his stuff is really good. It's called Lessons from Anime. It's a YouTube channel. It's really good. I don't know the guy's name personally. Like I haven't I'm like, oh, that's Matt. Like I don't know him, but Lessons from Anime is this great thing where he talks about like basically like at the end of every message, he's always like, you're doing enough. And he does parts of Haikyuu, Blue Lock, Solo Leveling, Jujutsu Kaisen. He talks about like character analysis and why we love these characters. And one thing he talks about is like in Solo Leveling, he references it. I haven't seen it yet, but it's been on my list. God, that ever-growing list of things I need to watch. He goes, look, dude, like you're doing enough and you're seeing like the top like 10% out of the 90%, out of the 100% of people like on your Instagram. And if you're seeing only the top 10%, like 100% of the time, you're going to compare yourself. You're going to be like, damn, I'm not doing enough. Damn, like I'm not doing anything. You're going to just compare yourself because it's like, you're only seeing that top percentage. And so like that has helped me so much because I'm like, oh, like I'm doing enough. I'm doing as much as I can. And what's mine is mine. And like these people, I'm happy for them. And like, no shade. Like we're all out here trying to make our dreams come true, you know? But if it's like, it's people, I worry about like my nephew, my niece, and I definitely have to be like, it's okay. Like, you know, because they're growing up in that world. I didn't grow up in the world of the media, Instagram being a thing that I held in my hand every day. So, you know,
where it's just everything, the entire world practically is right in our pocket at all times. Yeah. And it's just one button click away. And it's like, oh, look, I can see someone who's taking a vacation off in Europe and living the high life while I'm here at my day job. It's
while you're at a bus stop or some shit, you're like, great. You know,
yes.
You're like,
go for you.
Yeah, I know. But you know what? God, let everyone live their best life, you know?
True that. Yeah. We got one, so we best make the most of it.
So supposedly we got one. So who knows? Who knows? Maybe we'll come back as dinosaurs. I hope so.
Wouldn't that be something?
I know. What would be your dinosaur? What would you want to come back as?
Let me see. I'm thinking either between a Stegosaurus or a Brontosaurus.
Interesting.
Just because Brontosaurus is Thunder Lizard, and it's like, how cool is it to be named Thunder? It's like you're like Thunder Lizard.
Thunder lizard. I love it. You
gotta tell me, Eddie, what's your choice?
I was just gonna comment. I was just gonna say real quick before I tell you mine is like Stegosaurus is a good one for you because I feel like you have this your hair is that like it's like orange and reddish, you know what I mean? And they could like flush blood into their plates to like kind of intimidate people, or just the red in their plates, you know,
to scare off predators.
Exactly. So I don't know. I just feel like you have the red right there. I feel like it's just like you're a step away, you know?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no, you have great hair, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Likewise, you have a fabulous head of hair yourself.
Thank you. I don't think I can transfer it to my dinosaur self, unfortunately. Would you, man?
No, that's a trade-off. Lose our hair to be a dinosaur.
We get feathers, though. For me, I think it would have to be. I was always a raptor kid. I loved raptors. Like T-Rex was cool, but like I just loved like the pack mentality of like raptors and how intelligent they were. So I'm going to go a little deep into dinosaurs, Utah raptor, because it was just like this insane large version of raptors. And like, it's kind of the version of raptors that we're kind of used to seeing. You know what I mean?
Yes. Like Jurassic Park kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause the Utah raptor is closer in size to what we see the velociraptors in those movies. It's actually bigger. But like an actual raptor is like 3 feet tall, so it's not like super big, and they're like a little bit lankier. You know what I mean? Chicken
sized, roughly. At least that's what I remember. Like they're actually chicken sized.
Something around there. A little like they're just like you. Like if you had like a sword, you'd be able to fight one off for sure. But like a Utah raptor is closer to like the size, so I'm gonna go Utah raptor for that one.
Very cool. And also, I think raptors in general are one of those dinosaurs. It's like small, the textbook definition of small but mighty. Because like, sure, there's hundreds and hundreds of species of dinosaurs where they're gargantuan, and it's like, oh well, a raptor is more human sized. I think I could fair enough fight. It's like, no. Have you seen like someone give them a manicure and a pedicure before things go down?
Paint their nails black right here. Let's go. I love it.
Fabulous. Fabulous.
What a good talk. Gotta talk dinosaurs all day.
To pivot back to your journey in the fields as a voice actor, because you started off, as you said, in the medical field. Then it transitioned into working with children and doing story time. And what was that phrase that you always used to say? So, like something about like eat, like you have to eat before.
Oh, no, no chewing, no viewing.
No chewing, no viewing.
Because it was a show. So I'd like stop, I'd like pause, and then like everyone would look around and be like, I'm gonna call out a kid. But I just like this little girl would get so excited because she'd be like, I have her carrot in her mouth while her mouth was open looking at me with a story. She'd be like, oh my God, but then she wouldn't be chewing. People would be like, Mia, chew. And she'd be like, I'm sorry. And then she'd like chew and she'd be like, continue. So like that was like, I was like, no chewing, no viewing. It was a show. God, I used to love that. And I've like implanted that into my niece and nephew's head. So any babysitting that I did afterwards, they would always be like, no chewing, no viewing, guys. Anyways. But yeah, so sorry. So kids, then voiceover. That's kind of how it happened. And
you found your way onto TikTok. You stumbled onto this, this crazy, wild, magical app at the same time, because it's brought so many people together. TikTok.
I can't believe we're revisiting this. Oh my God. I'm internally, I'm like, what? Like, yeah,
it's a moment where it's like, okay, class, now we're gonna play Eddy's video up on the big screen and watch his presentation, and you're like,
no,
someone else.
I don't have the energy to go and just erase all of my ridiculous TikToks that I did, because I was dating a lovely lady at the time, and she was super supportive, and she's like, hey, like I think that like because I used to do a lot of positivity, like motivational content, because I thought, I want to be a motivational speaker. So I did a lot of that. And she was, I think there's got to be TikTok people who are doing voiceover, or voiceover people who are doing TikTok. I think you should like find your people. And like she really pushed me to meet people and connect. And so I ended up going into voiceover TikTok, and I thought, oh, look, like I was like, hey, babe, like they have these challenges here, voiceover challenges. I want to do that. So I like bought a mic, got a little headlight, got the setup, and I was like, and it was that one guy, I think it's Chris Greenfield. He goes, could you be a voice actor? I've created 5 scripts, you know, and with his deep, resonant, beautiful voice.
It's iconic, practically.
Oh my God. And like, he's done so well for himself. So shout out, dude. Like, you're killing it. Very proud of you. I don't know him personally, but I know that I've heard from people. He is just a sweet, awesome guy. And so like, I just ended up doing some of those, and then people added me back. I added people, and I said, I would message them, be like, oh my God, I love what you did. And they'd be like, oh my God, I love what you did. And I ended up becoming good friends with a lot of people. And it was like just kind of free training. It was like free training, free moments. And I would like record things. And I was like, I did 1 take, 2 take, 3 takes, 4 takes, 5 takes, 10 takes, 12 takes. I got crazy with it, but I had fun. And I ended up getting some engagement, not a lot, but just enough from friends to just enough to make some friends and learn like that other people were doing it. So TikTok, the dark ages.
It all feels like such a long time ago, because I look at my old videos myself and I'm like, how far we've all come. But that's also the cool thing about TikTok, is not only has it brought so many people together, but everyone can look back on old videos and be like, wow, look how far I've come and how much I've learned. Absolutely.
I 100% watched some videos of mine a few weeks ago, and I was like, oh, Eddy. But then I was like, oh, Eddy. You know, like it's just it's nice to go a certain way. So I'm gonna go to your TikTok now and just scroll and get deep and just go see what you got down there.
I guess I set myself up for that one to be like, now I'm on the spot. Now people are gonna be like, well, what did you do back in 2022? It's like,
oh God,
nothing.
Hold on 1 second. Let me delete. No. I did a pass. I did a pass already. It's too late, people. Sorry. All the cringy stuff that I did.
But it's because of things like that you are where you are today, and all the incredible stuff that you've done, and the conventions that you've gone to, and the awards that you've recently won. Wink, wink.
Oh,
featuring like the SOVA with is it Kana Shimanuki? I think the two of you won the best performance together.
That was wild. Yeah, if we're going to get it right into that, I just got to start off by saying Kana and I were cast in this beautiful movie from China that came out in 2023 called Deep Sea. It's for free on YouTube. You had to buy it, but now it's for free on YouTube. I think you have to rent it on Amazon Prime. I think it's for free on Pluto TV and Peacock as well. It's for free, but free on YouTube with ads. It's this beautiful, amazing animated movie. It's funny, like they took 7 years to make it, and it's so transitionally like weird and beautiful and like just like a dream world. You'd think, oh, this was AI, but it's totally not. It's just gorgeous. Deep Sea, she plays the lead girl. Kana just is great, and as Shen Shou, and I play Nanha, the crazy, insane clown. This ridiculous sea captain who has magical powers and he's a magician. It's kind of like Spirited Away storyline meets some weird Willy Wonka factory with the graphics of Avatar, The Way of Water, or whichever Avatar you want to reference. But yeah, so it's insane, and we were like up for that award together, which was crazy. Kana and I, we were like, there's no bleeping way we're gonna win, because we're new. Like, we just showed up, and like we were like nominated together. It was like we were the only ones that were nominated together for a scene, and they picked, and the producer Sebastian Zancanaro, who is a great love. God, shout out to Sebastian, you're the best. He submitted us, and he was like, he submitted the most emotional scene, and I was like, this is the scene? Like, this is like so sad. People are like, aren't gonna want to watch this. But like, lo and behold, Con and I were there, and we were sitting down with our heads down. We weren't at the same table. We were away from each other, but we were like, it's just fun. Let's just, whatever. We're not going to win. And we're sitting.
Fun experience.
I know, exactly. To be nominated by your peers. And we were like, there were all these great voice actors, like Fabiola Stevenson, who is my friend and my coach in Spanish voiceover. Mario, I forget what his last name is, but all these great voice actors who have been dubbing for years. So Kana and I were like, that's not, and then all of a sudden we hear our names, and the rest is history. It was awesome. I couldn't believe it. I cried later, but I didn't cry in the moment because I was just so overwhelmed with like being on stage and holding the award and being like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, goodbye. And like, that was it. Just like, thank you, vomit.
I always have looked at moments like that for literally anyone that wins an award. Cause I'm like, I put myself in those shoes of like, if I ever won an award one day, I'd probably be on the stage like, who do I say? And it's like, okay, you have like 30 seconds. It's like, everyone who I need to thank is like gone out the window.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for the both of you. That must have been like a tremendous moment to be like, am I alive? Does it pinch me? Somebody?
It's a good feeling to be recognized by your peers. And just to get into that, like I went to SOVAs from that point on, it was 2 years ago, fresh voice actor. And one credit hadn't even come out yet. No, it did. One credit that had come out was my first job ever, voiceover, which got me SAG and all this other stuff. We'll get into that if you want to. No demos, no agent, no website, nothing. And I went to SOVAS being like, what is everyone else doing that I'm not doing? And I met so many people. I met a lot of people that gave me their business cards, gave me all these things. And I was like, this is where like what I need to be doing, because people say there's no such thing as competition, but honestly, like how you present yourself matters, especially like in an industry like this. So I was learning about what everyone was doing. And then I went to the award ceremony, not knowing anybody, just showing up. And I was like, I don't know anybody here. And they were like, are you nominated? And I'd be like, no. Are your friends nominated? I'd be like, I don't have any friends here. And I went to go see the winners and what the winners were like, who they were. And I was like, I want to like, I was like, kind of like watching there, like, who are you? Who are you? And I wrote it all down and I kept it all notepadded. And eventually I ended up, my buddy Michael was there nominated and he won an award. And I was like, I know somebody. Haha. But I didn't know he was going to be there. I had no idea. So I went there to be inspired. And so 2 years later to be on that stage and win with Kana, who was amazing, was just such a good feeling.
That's awesome. Yeah. That is awesome. And speaking, by the way, I wanted to mention that you and Kana both look fabulous on the carpet with the award. Like you both look fabulous.
Man, no, you know what? I got to give credit to my makeup guy, Monroe. He is also Ecuadorian. He is a love. He's amazing. Shout out to Monroe. He came over and I was like, I want to do like a kind of a Johnny Depp-ish look, and he was like, what about Johnny Depp? What did he say? I forget. I don't want to misquote him, but he's like, okay. And then he just beautified, and he, so all the credits to Monroe. He did my makeup. He made me look good, and we won. So it worked out. It ended up working out. So
it was the perfect opportunity to showcase your fashion, your makeup, and the award at the same time. It was the triple package.
It was the triple package. Yeah, it was the triple package. Goddamn.
So you had mentioned that when you went the first time to the SOVAs, it was more so of a learning experience and you were still finding your way at the time as a voice actor in the field. Yeah. In this, as you mentioned, while it is competitive, yes, it's also voiceover community is just super supportive and encouraging. Like it's not like people aren't like at each other's throats to be like, I want that role. It's like everyone claps and it's cheers for the people. Which is awesome. And for those who are looking to start out or perhaps one day try it for themselves, and they're also on the boat of, well, I don't have a demo, I don't have an agent, I don't have a website. It's like, what are some ways that you would recommend that what they should focus on when it comes to jumping into this field, and how to go from there, rather than feel that they have to do something first when they could have been going at it all this time?
Well, for me, what worked for me and what I think would work for a lot of people is, take the workshops for sure, do the classes for sure, find a coach, someone who can really champion you. And I don't mean like force a relationship. I don't mean like force it like, okay, I'm studying with this famous voice actor and like blah, 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 blah. Like, and now I'm going to get seen. Like, no, like it's for me, it was more about finding someone who I could learn from. And that ended up getting me my first job. So I coached with, I was doing all the classes. Voice gurus, voice gods, voice peoples, voice whatevers, all the voice classes you can take. And I was doing them all. I was like, I want to learn. But then I hit the brakes when I got to Voice Masters, which is a class run by Paulette Lifton and Mimi Maynard. And at the time, Ashley Bernanson, I think her name is. And it was just great. And I really loved their energy. And then I asked Mimi, I said, Mimi, can I coach privately with you? Like, cause you are like, I didn't know who Mimi was or what Mimi had done at the time. Like now I know how great she is, but I really loved that she was challenging me. And I told her, I was like, I'm into this. Like, I want it. And she saw that hunger and she took to it. And we trained and trained and trained. And, I think if you find a good coach that believes in you, that will do a lot for your confidence. Find someone who is willing to work with you, and find someone that you have rapport with, and find somebody that you can really just be like, this is my mentor. We all need our Miyagi. You know what I mean? Like we all need we're all Daniel-san, but we need our Miyagi. You know what I mean? Like we need it. Like you got to find your Miyagi, because for me, I think learning from somebody who has all the experience will just up your game. You know what I mean? It'll just like take you to the next level. If you listen, if you're dedicated, and if you respect them and they respect you, and it's symbiotic,
Something else to also bear in mind, and I'm sure you can attest to this too, Eddy, and you feel free to jump in on this too, is don't be crushed or disappointed when you do take workshops and classes with teachers and you get feedback, because getting feedback does not mean you're bad, does not mean you can't do it. It's, if anything, it's fantastic to get feedback, because that's how you grow.
I mean, it's like, I think I totally have been there where I've been like, I've had classes where I felt like a rock star. I've had classes where I was like, that was okay. And I've had classes where I'm like, why am I doing this again? I've had those moments, but who was it? The current voice of Darth Maul, Sam, he was saying like, like you have to be willing to take feedback, and understand that, you have to mold yourself over and over and over again. And I think that like taking that feedback and growing from it is super important. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. Like you got to be willing to put yourself out there and be like, because it's so subjective what we go for. Someone hears something and they love it. Someone hears the same thing and they're like, no, it doesn't work for me. So it's like, you kind of almost have to remember that each gig, each job is like a new thing, and that you're gonna have to be ready to like adapt to anything. So yeah, don't take it personally. Take it as a challenge, or however you want to take it, as a challenge, as like a learning experience, and just remember that like this is a marathon, not a sprint.
I like that. I like that. To not rush into and wear yourself out totally, rather than to pace yourself and to take the time necessary, because as I always say, haste makes waste. So
haste makes waste.
haste makes waste. So
Absolutely, Spencer.
especially for your voice's sake, everyone pace yourselves. You'll get there.
Absolutely. There's enough. They're not going to stop making these video games and these shows. They're not going to stop. If anything, they're like ramping it up even more now. So just be patient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I also saw something similar to your marathon analogy the other day too, where it's like I actually see it all the time on social media, where it's like where you are in your journey should not be equal to where someone else is in theirs. Like don't get discouraged or feel because like someone else is like landing all these gigs and owning it, and it's like take your time, take a breather.
Yeah,
you'll get there.
Yeah, and like I don't know. I used to think, man, if I'd been voice acting since I was like in high school or in college or whatever, I would be like so much further along. And I'm like, I was like, you know what? Actually, I don't know that. I might have burnt out. I decided to be an actor at 30. I decided to actually do this. I took my first class when I was 30, and now I'm 33. So I was like, wow, like maybe I wouldn't have. I don't know. Who knows? So it's like you never know. You never know.
The joyous mysteries of life.
God, I love that. I love that it's a mystery. I don't want all the answers. I don't want all the. I couldn't handle all the answers. People were like, I want to know, but I'm like, no, this is good.
Would you at least accept some answers, or are you totally like, no, don't tell me. I want to figure this out for myself.
I'm a big believer of like the other. You ever heard of pigeon superstition?
I believe so. Yes.
So it's like they did this. It's from this. I remember like learning about it from this movie, Mr. Nobody, which is great. It's a great. That movie is so good. But it opens up with the lesson of that movie is every life is beautiful. Every life is the same. You could do anything you want, and it'll have just as much meaning to you as you assign it. And the pigeon, I guess, like the experiment was that. They would have this pigeon in this cage or this little kind of like whatever it was, a box. I don't remember it super well, but every now and then like a little door would open up, and the little door would open up and there would be food, and the pigeon would eat the food. The pigeon if the pigeon happened to be flapping its wings and the door would open, the pigeon would think, oh, because I flapped my wings, the door opens. The door opens. So it would just flap its wings. And even like, if the door wouldn't open, it would keep flapping its wings until the door opened. I'd be like, aha, you see, the door opens. So I'm a big believer in you assign whatever meaning you want to life. You assign whatever you want. Like if you believe in this, you believe in that. Like that is all right. Like whatever you want to believe is good. So, if you believe it's meant for you, it's not meant for you, whatever you believe, man, that's just me.
I respect that. I respect that.
Definitely, man. And I feel like you're of a similar vein, though. I feel like you have that like positive quality with you. That you just like it's all good, man. Everyone is cool. Everyone believe what you want to believe.
I do, and I had to teach myself first and foremost, and as I came to understand that and to accept that, I've been a huge advocate of that to others. Of don't never ever play the comparison game, or if it's meant for you, it'll happen.
Yeah,
that nothing is impossible. All you have to do is put your mind to it and to keep going strong, and it'll happen with time. It may not happen. It may not happen right then when you want it, because there's other timing going on, and and in the long run, you can look back and you'll be like, oh, so maybe it's best that it didn't happen then because this other thing happened. So don't give up. Don't give up.
Never give up, people. Never give up. It's a full-time job believing in yourself. You guys got this. Like, is like valuing health and valuing like yourself and valuing who you are over like the job.
Yes.
I'm definitely guilty of like being like, I must work all day, and I'm just like, like the other day, like I had a lovely day, doing nothing. And I was like, okay, I need to do more of those,
a little you time. in between the hustle and bustle of everyday life.
Eddy time, Spencer time. We all need our own time.
We sure do.
Yeah, we do.
It helps us smile even brighter.
Absolutely. Like that giant dinosaur behind you, which I love, by the way.
Oh, thank you. This is where are my manners. I didn't mention that this is Tank the T-Rex.
Tank, that is a T-Rex. How lovely. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Tank.
He's my emotional support dinosaur and my company mascot.
He's also making me want to smile, like subconsciously, because he's just like looking at you and everything, you know. So he's just like, he's great. I love him, Tank.
Thank you. He's always, like me, we're always looking to spread smiles however we can. It's our mission.
However you can.
However we can. One of the other big roles that you landed, especially for shout out to anime fans out there, especially my Beyblade fans, because I have a lot of Beyblade fans out there. You are you're Carlo Maruko in Beyblade X, right?
Carlo Maruko, that is, God, I love him. He's great. But yeah, I'm Carlo Maruko in Beyblade X.
How's the experience been? Like, what was that like to, you've done animated films and now you're in animated series, anime series. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that was crazy. So here's my little story with that. If people care enough to know, it was, you know, I got this, it was this audition that came through, and it was through Bang Zoom, through my agent, they sent it out to, you know, God knows how many people. So like, that's just, for me, I know how much of a blessing it is, because I know other people, like, you know, sent their hearts and souls into this beloved series, and Beyblade is so iconic. And so I remember, like, I was going to coach with someone, but then I was like, I canceled, because I had this feeling that, like, I really related to this character and I really felt a connection to him. And I sent out my 2 takes, and, you know, it was really funny. I ended up doing like a weekend workshop with Tony Oliver and Dora Fine, which was like getting out of your head for actors, which I needed so bad. You know what I mean? To get out of my head. And I did it that weekend, and it was like such a great class, and it was so wonderful. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, Tony loved my stuff. We had a good time. Dora came up to me and was like, like, you've got like good instincts, like keep going. And then that Monday after the weekend, I got the offer, and I was like, what was it? I thought it was the class. It wasn't the class. It just happened to be the same. If they don't cast from their classes, I'm not going to say they do, because they don't, but it happened to be like this serendipitous moment of like, oh, I just took a class with Tony, and now I'm about to be directed by Tony. It was wild. I walked in so nervous, because it was my first anime, and I was like, I'd been dubbing live action for like a year at that point, but I was like, it's anime. I love anime. This is Beyblade. People love Beyblade. And it's just been such a great experience. People in the Beyblade community have reached out and talked to me about it. They've been like, I love you. Like, you're great. Carlo Maruko is so cool. Because he's like this cool guy. And he's like hot and older, and he wears like gloves and suspenders, and he's just cool. And I was like, oh my God, Carlo is daddy. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. I shouldn't be saying that, but like, he is. He's the mentor to Robin Kazami, you know, because Robin at this point in his Beyblade career, he used to use Strike Hawk. I used to love Strike Hawk. And Robin loves Strike Hawk, and then he's like, oh, but I gave up on it. And then, you know, Carlo's like, you gave up on Strike Hawk? Like, all right, kid, let me show you something. You know, that was like the baseline for Carlo's voice was like, ooh, interesting. He was just like very cool, and like that was like something that was fun for me, because I'm pretty aloof and like chill and dorky, but like Carlo was just that fun little cool voice of me. You know what I mean? So Carlo was like, listen, kid, let me show you something. You know, it's very Kronk from Emperor's New Groove. You know what I mean?
Patrick Warburton-esque almost.
Oh yeah. Actually, like I gotta admit, like that was kind of like where I went, and I was like, oh yeah, you know what I mean? Like he was super cool. And then he shows Robin like what to do. So like as Robin goes up, like in his skills up the tower of X, the tower, he will, I'm hoping he goes back to Strikehawk. I haven't read the manga or talked to the Robin Kazami's voice actor, Caleb Yen, who knows so much. Caleb told me he read all of like the manga and he's just like keeps reading it. So like, I'm happy to be part of the journey in Beyblade, to have that be my first anime off of an audition, which is, not easy. And then to be directed by Tony Oliver, who's like, anime god in directing, you know what I mean? Like Tony is awesome and he's so much fun to work with. I'm blessed, that was a blessing.
And how because I know that not all sessions are like from show to show when it comes to dubbing, but did they give you an example of what they were looking for or what they wanted? Because when I'm a big fan of anime myself, and there's always how the original Japanese sounds, and then there's the English dub, and sometimes there's like some voices are spot on and some are in a totally different direction. I'm like, I wonder why that is, or like, did they give you a guideline?
No. So I've asked a few. I think it depends on so many different factors. What the client wants, number one, whatever the client wants. But then like, some directors get the freedom to either make it an exact voice match or at least go in their own direction, depending on how their storytelling is and how they want voiceover is an orchestra. So it's like they want to see how all these voices match together and how all these voices go together. So that goes into casting. So I had a quality to my voice that was good for Carlo, that was good for who he was. And, Beyblade is like all these like young kids battling and, all these crazy adults who are like, we're going to destroy you. And that's, you know what I mean? Like the Beyblade world is mine. And I think it just depends, man. But then you have examples like Jujutsu Kaisen, where it's like some animes will be like, okay, deep villain, a light sounding villain. But with one of their casting choices, they went in a different direction with the bad guy. Like it went from like this super light voice in the Japanese to like something deeper and more like menacing. And I was like, oh, like that just works because that's what they wanted, So it's like we can think and analyze like, oh, it's like one clear cut way, but no, it just varies from director, studio to client. So I don't know what to tell you, but I'm always happy to be a part of anything. And if someone thinks my voice fits in an orchestra, yay.
Yay. You're part of the vocal orchestra for the production.
It's an honor, and it's something that you gotta just take for what it is and just be grateful for no matter what, because a lot of people would love to be where you're at. So no matter how small the job is or how big it is, give it your all.
Yes. It's funny that you say that because I've done theater myself since I was like 7-8 years old. So like, wow, like 17, 18 years. And especially Congrats. As a kid, thank you. Especially as a kid and when I was younger, I definitely had a lot more of those moments of, oh, I'm only an ensemble person. Like my part doesn't matter. But like, as I've grown up, I've gotten such a better grasp on the thing of like, no, like you're not just, and this goes for anything in a show, like if you're just a background person in a movie or you're an extra's voice or anything like that, you are part of the team and you help build up this production and hold it togeton without those people, it wouldn't be possible.
No, absolutely. It is like if you're on a roster and if you're on a cast and like I was looking at the Beyblade cast members and I was like, damn, these people have really been in really cool stuff. I feel good about myself. Like I'm happy to be in it. You know what I mean? So I wear, even though Carlo isn't like, he's in like 7 to 10 episodes and like maybe like small parts here and there. I'm like, I'm in Beyblade. Like, I don't care. Like I'll be happy being an extra on anything or whatever. And he is a character. He does have a backstory. He does have like some depth to him. That word's hard. to him for sure. But like, it's like, no part is too small, man. And like, if you're on a team, people trust you and people like see something in you. So take it.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah. Carlo, dude. God, Carlo Maruco.
And speaking of doing anime voices, you've also something else that I'm assuming that you were a big fan of, because it seemed like that when you shared the news in your recent recap of things, when you were asked to be in the recent WWE 2K game.
Oh yeah, that was like so cool.
Was it for WWE, or was it like, I'm in a video game?
It was. So the thing is, my friends loved wrestling growing up. Like Eddie Guerrero. You know what I mean? Like God, Rey Mysterio. Like I'm dating myself, but like like all those, like all the wrestlers. Like I didn't watch it, but my friends loved it. You know what I mean? And if you're Hispanic, Eddie Guerrero was your guy. You're like, we love Eddie Guerrero. You know what I mean? Like, he's our guy. You know what I mean? He had that really ridiculous song that I'm going to quote it because it's ridiculous. Like, we lie, we cheat, we steal. Like, that would be his song. You know what I mean? And it was like, I get like, I don't know this backstory about that, but like, I knew that song and I was like, yeah, like Eddie Guerrero, vamos. You know what I mean? Like, he was so cool and I loved him. And like, and that was my first video game. And I remember like getting the audition being like 2K fighting efforts. Okay, cool. And I just like went all out because it was like fighting. And I was like, I want to sound like I'm getting my butt kicked and I want to sound like I'm kicking someone's butt. So I just went all out. And then I got cast and I was like, cool. And it was just awesome. I remember like the experience was so awesome. I met the booth director who was, God, what was his name? Lovely gentleman. That's all I can say about him. I'm so sorry. No shout out there. But it was funny. He like, not a particularly like big guy, and he was like, dude, you sound like you're massive. I love it. Like, we'll bring you back for more. So like, yeah, so that was great. It was so cool. That was my first video game. That was my first video game. Pretty cool. You know what I mean?
And hopefully many more to come. Many more video games to come.
Oh boy, I'm just sitting on some and I'm just like, can you come out already? Because I want to talk about it. I want to talk like one of my like, oh God, that's why I love what I do, because you get to, even if you're just auditioning for it, like, it's just cool to give it a shot. And like when you audition for something that like is like your childhood and you get it and you're like, you know what I mean? You're like, and then I saw the trailer for it come out and I was like, can I talk about it now? No. Okay, fine. So I gotta chill.
The big NDA. It's like,
like, please. But no, a friend was like, nah, you can't do that yet, dude. Like, you want to be in the game? And I was like, yeah. They're like, then shut up.
It's like, okay. For the greater good.
For the greater good. But then some people is like, I see people like, obviously like bigger voice actors just like pumping out that they're in this thing when the trailer comes out. But you know what? I just want to, it'll come out when it comes out and I have the date and it's on my calendar and it's there and I'm just looking at it. I'm just like, I can't wait to share it. So yeah, well, we will definitely have to talk about it when it comes out. For
sure. I'm gonna have to hear more because it sounds like you had a total blast.
Yeah, and it was crazy. Yesterday, I went out with a friend for a drink, and I saw like this guy, the security guy. He had a tattoo of a character that I voice, and I was like, that is a cool tattoo. He goes, oh, thanks, man. You know this guy? And I was like, I know that guy. And he's like, oh, cool, bro. And then like I was like, yeah. And then I like went in and I was like, that's so crazy.
I'll say it's quite literally at that moment of the meme where everyone's at the party and you're in the corner like, and they have no idea.
Yeah,
that I'm the voice behind that character.
Oh God, it is going to be a cool day, man. I'm excited, and it's just like it's like Beyblade. You know what I mean? It's not like Beyblade, but it's just like the experience of being a part of something that like everyone knows and everyone, like most people know, most people cherish. So that is huge. And me being one of them who cherishes it, because my friends my friends got me into anime. My friends got me into Beyblade, Pokemon, all that stuff. So like they were the ones who were like, this is wrestling. This is this. And I was like, what is nerddom? I love this fandom stuff. Like, I love it. So it's cool.
I have found my home with my people.
My friends.
We've talked about a lot of your acting work, but Eddy, I think I also need to touch upon the fact that you are an assistant director on some shows too. So like you've been on both sides of the spectrum in the acting world.
God, it helps so much. I love my my journey. And again, like my first voiceover coach, Mimi, she knew that I had a passion for acting, but that I also wanted to get good at acting so I could be a director, because I've always, that's been like, if acting is like, it's so much fun and I love it so much, but I also really love directing. And it started out with just shadowing, just watching, just sitting there watching. And thank God, you know, that my coach was able to let me do that with her. But then eventually, like, it turned into like, hey, like, I'd give not input because I was there in the room, but like somebody asked a question. What was that character's name that we did yesterday? And I'd be like, blah, 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 blah. I would know. And then enough of those moments of like, oh, that's at time code 77. That's at this moment. Oh yeah, no. Well, they pronounced it differently in this scene. So like those little moments of chiming in quietly in the back, I got the recognition. I was like, oh, like you're paying attention and you're an asset. Would you like to be my assistant? I immediately said, hell yeah. And like, I've been able to work on a lot of Netflix projects, HBO Max projects, mostly Netflix projects, which has been like cool to see. Like, there's honestly like assistant directing for voiceover, like there's not really a thing. So like to even like be granted the title, was awesome. And not every studio, does it, which is totally okay. I know what work I've done, but I've been an AD for voiceover for about maybe a year and a half, and I have maybe 12 shows under my belt. So
that's amazing.
Yeah,
kudos
and
to you.
It's cool because sometimes you get like it's happened like very few times where it's like I have gotten to like talk to the actor and explain things and tell them like why they're in this moment, where they're going. And I've gotten a lot more trust. And when you get that trust and someone's like, yep, you can do this, and people acknowledge it, it's like, it's a good feeling, because I don't know. I just love what I do.
I would sure hope that you do, because
yeah, I really do. Some shows to mention: Love Is Blind Brazil's season 3, 4, 5. Love Is Blind Mexico. I can't talk about these shows yet. Love Village season 2, the dub for the Black Hawk Down show, but like we directed the dubbing actors for the people, you know, Black Hawk Down happened in Somalia, so they did like a documentary about it. But they interviewed people who lived through that, who lived in Somalia, and we directed the dubbing actors who did the English version of like the Somalian people. What else? A few other shows that haven't come out yet, but I'm just like, they're coming out, and we're working on a show right now, so that's good. I will be going in later, the second part of the day to go do that. So yeah.
Super.
Yeah,
that's
fun.
It's so exciting.
Yeah.
And do you think I can speculate as much, but I'd love to get your personal opinion on the matter as such. Doing roles as the actor, as a voice actor, as the actor, the one who is in the scene and performing for an audience, has that helped you be in your journey as a director thus far, and vice versa? And how do they play into each other?
It's relaxed me a lot more as an actor, because I am no longer wondering what's in between the silence. I'm no longer like afraid of it's just like, from what I've seen, is there, we've definitely cast some people who are like new at this and like fresh, and like I guess it's just relaxed me, because like, while what we do, like you have to be grateful, you have to be like just uninhibited, you have to just be yourself, you have to do what you can do, and understand that sometimes you don't like, you don't need to like be the best, you just have to be you. It's taught me that. I've been on shows where I'm like, oh my God, I love that role. I can't wait for it to come out. And then I watch it and I'm like, oh, they replaced me? Ah, man. But then I'll check and I'll be like, oh, but I'm still credited. Cool. I'm still in the show. Okay, cool. We're still in the show. So I've been replaced. I've been fired on the spot. There was this one show where it was it was this crazy show. Not to get too into it, because I don't want to, the show's not even out yet, so I don't want to say too much about it. But the director was just like, he came in like after 2 sessions, he was like, it's not working out. And I was like, no problem. It's not a reflection of me. I'm just not right for the role. That's about it. And then on the other side, I've been the actor to be like, yeah, you're like our third guy to do this job. So like, we hope you can get it down. And I was like, no problem. Let's see what I got. You just got to bring yourself. You just got to bring yourself, and you got to be calm, and you got to have fun. Because I think it's like, who you know does wonders. Who knows you is great. But like, who knows if you're fun to work with is even more important, in my opinion. Because if you can go in there and just bring good vibes and good energy, like the job is stressful enough. I have people being like, oh, we were excited to see you, Eddy, because like you like bring such like a fun energy. And I'm like, yeah, I do. Like, let's get to work, people. Like, I'm like, let's go. So like, I really value having a good time. And I think I learned that by being on the other side and knowing that, yeah, it matters and it's important and it's a blessing and like an honor to be doing what we do. But it's also like, I don't know. I think doctors have like a harder time. You know what I mean? I think like people who have like important jobs with life and death is on the line, like have it more stressful. So like, just don't stress, relax. Like, you're there to do a job. Yes. You're there to be paid. Yes. But you're also there to like entertain and have fun and like just being yourself and being kind to yourself and being easy on yourself. I learned from sitting in the director's chair adjacent. The director's chair adjacent. I don't want to say I'm not in the director's chair yet. I'm cooking my own fires on that front, which again, we'll talk about some of the time, but yeah.
I especially appreciate the, how you highlighted a little bit about being times when you were fired on the spot, because things like that can happen. And especially for new, I personally, I'll speak for myself. I have yet to have a moment like that myself, but especially for other people who are watching the podcast, it's good for them to know, if they're looking to dive into this career, that it takes a lot of work, a lot of patience, and a lot of persistence. And there will be times when sometimes you'll be approached by the director or one of the higher ups on the production, and they'll be like, listen, just things aren't working out and we got to let you go. Things like that will happen, and they shouldn't be like, oh, I'm terrible. This is it. I'm just not meant for it. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah. And that's another thing, is that like, I've had jobs where it wasn't even about me, it was something else. What happened? I was going to do this really cool animated show. It was like this independent guy. It was pretty early in my career. And, he was like, oh my God, you're perfect. Like the last guy I had, he wasn't doing it for me. You're doing great. And then like right before recording, he's like, listen, he told me that he really needs this job and he really wants it. And I'm just telling you this because you're a cool guy. I know you won't. I know how like what you can do. So like, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna go with him. And I said, that's fine, totally okay. Like I would have loved to have done that character, but at the same time, it's like I also am happy for someone else because it sounds like he was a good dude, and it sounds like he was really excited. And you know what? Like I don't want to hold anybody accountable for like what they need for themselves. You know, if you need this for yourself, cool, great. Like I get it, man. Like it's your show, it's your thing. Like I'm not gonna get upset about it. I will always wonder and be like, I wonder what meaning I can assign to this, because that's kind of what it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like on that show I was fired on, you know, like I was like for a year I was like, ugh, that studio hasn't hired me in over a year. And then this year actually they hired me again, and I came back and I saw the engineer and I was like, oh dude, he's like, oh Eddy, what's up? And I was like, oh, they don't hate me here. He's like, dude, you have no idea. We replaced that role 11 times.
Oh, wow.
You were the first. You were the 11th actor. And then when I went into the studio that day he told me that, I walked in and I was like, oh, it definitely wasn't me. It was just they just couldn't figure it out. Like it wasn't working, you know? And then, of course, on that job, the director's like, yeah, you're the third guy for this role. Like, you're our third actor. We're coming in. And then that role I do have. So to like go from like being like fired for like not being the right fit to being the guy who comes in and is the right fit, it was just such a full circle moment. So like, do not give up on yourselves, people. If you have, I don't want to call them rejections, because it's not a rejection, because it's not like a no. It's more like a not today. Don't be concerned if you're not today ends up being a thing, because you never know. It could be your tomorrow that is what matters more. You know what I mean? If not today, tomorrow. I don't know what I was trying to say, but you guys get the gist.
It does sound like it's one of those moments where you really wanted that door to open and it closed in your face and you're frustrated. And it's like, oh, but I wanted this and I tried so hard and I wanted this, but over there, a window has opened. So now you can go through that window and something else is waiting for you.
Yeah, no, one door closes and like, you know, who knows what else opens up, but you gotta keep going. You can't get hung up on it.
I can kind of relate to that feeling where you had talked about you didn't hear back from the studio in a year and you're like, oh, what did I do? What happened? And it's almost that same feeling as you send out a message to somebody and they don't get back right away. And it's like left unread and it's like, did I do something? And then they finally get back. It's like, sorry, it was just something, life was happening in my neck of the woods. It had nothing to do with you. And it's like, oh, all that stress and for nothing.
Yeah,
we don't
absolutely.
know.
Absolutely. You don't know. And even if you do know, and even if it's like oh no, it was my fault or whatever. It's like, there's a lot of people. I for sure accidentally burned a bridge and been like, oh no. But then I'm like, well, that's okay. I have enough peace within myself to know that, and I hope we all feel this way, is like, you're good enough. You'll be fine.
You are good enough.
Yes, you all are good enough.
This has been such a delightful chat, Eddy. I've had such a great time.
Yeah, me too.
As is customary when it comes to winding down for the podcast, little bit of uneasy wind down kind of questions.
Okay.
So, first one that I have for you is, who would you say in your journey as a voice actor, who would you say is or has been your biggest inspiration?
One of my best friends, his name is Marcus Ramon. He used to be called Smurf Brown, but Marcus is one of my biggest inspirations. You know, I don't have like a voice actor. I have voice actors that like I really like looked up to. And just thought they were just great for sure. But I've been more inspired by the people along my journey who I've become friends with. My buddy Chelsea Krause is one of them. Ted Evans,
wonderful lady.
Oh, just a great. Ted Evans, Jamie Mantos. There are so many people that I'm like, they have really inspired me. And I think it's because we're in the thick of it. You know, we're all in the trenches. I think those people, Ted, Jamie, Chelsea, and Smurf, those are my four, like, that's my Rushmore of people that I have been inspired by. And of course, awesome. there's a lot of people that I could put on my Rushmore, but like, you know, like my coach Fabiola Stevenson, who directed me in Deep Sea, my coach Mimi Maynard, also my friends, they're like family to me. So I think it's about the people who champion you and who you champion back. Those are my biggest inspirations.
Is there any particular dream role that you have as a voice actor? Like any work of media where you've seen it and you're like, one day I would love to do that.
You know, for me, it's more, it's not even like a role in a certain show or a certain project. I mean, obviously, like Pokemon would be huge and cool, but you know, I'll say one thing is like, there are certain characters that I have in my vault that I am like, unfortunately, dying to get out. So for me, it's more about like, I have like these characters and these sides of my crazy ass personality. For me, it's more like, oh, there are these characters that I have that I would love to get out. So for me, it's like more like, it's more characters. It's more about like the characters. I don't necessarily have like a project where I'm like, oh my God, of course, like Pokemon would be huge one day for sure. I know it's going to be in my future somehow, but, I definitely just have more characters that I want to get out. And that's kind of where like my artistry comes from, is like, I have these characters that like are like seething. They're like, come on, just like, give me my shot and I'll show you what I got, you know? So it's characters for me.
Characters that you want that you would love for the audience to also fall in love with and to grow an attachment to.
If we start with the character, like, I mean, I can say that I want to be in like Sailor Moon, but like there aren't a lot of I can't do a lot in Sailor Moon, you know what I mean? Like there's not a lot of spots I can fill in Sailor Moon. There's like maybe some bad guys who come around that they beat up, but like, you know, so it's more like the characters.
I have hope in my heart that one day you'll get you and your characters that will get more time to shine, and people will fall in love with them.
Same with you, Spencer. Same with you.
Thank you. Are there any words of advice that you would like to share with viewers?
Gosh, I think I've given what I like to tell myself a lot. So whatever I've said, it's mostly what I tell myself. And I got something. I was sitting with my sister married this gentleman named Eric, and Eric's dad, his name is Larry. So I was sitting with Larry, just I don't know if we were having a drink, I don't know what we were doing, but I remember we were like, it was summer and we were sitting around, and it was 2021. It was during COVID, and like, you know, we were just like having a moment to ourselves, and we were just talking. And he told me, he's like, I don't know, I think I was in a rough place, as most of us were during the pandemic or post-pandemic. Like we were all like, like, you know, and Larry's lived his life, and he said, listen, Eddy, like the most important things you say in your day are the words you say to yourself. And you're not saying a lot of very important things or very nice things to yourself right now. So I think as voice actors, our business is talking. We say a lot. We say more words on average than the average person. You know, we say a lot. We talk a lot. There's moments of isolation. It's very, 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 can get lonely. So I think no matter what you say through your day, no matter what you're auditioning for, just make sure you save some kind words and some gentle, loving words for yourself. Because those are the words that matter most.
I'm going to have to write that one down. That's great words to live by.
I take no credit. That's all Larry London.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you for is that somewhere? Is that like a quote somewhere? Because if it's not, then Larry needs to put that out there now.
I don't know, but honestly, Larry is just, Larry's one of those guys. He's just one of these like, he's one of these martial artist guys who like is like he has a beautiful home, a beautiful family. Now I'm a part of his family because his son married my sister, so like Larry's family to me now. I wish I could. I would love to be like, you guys, this is my quote, but I will not take his credit. That man, that is his quote, and I will continue to use it for myself and share it. But that is his quote.
And for everyone else listening out there, like, jot that down. Get a piece of paper and jot that one down, because that one's going in the books. Yeah,
man. Save some words for yourself. Absolutely.
And be kind to yourself.
Yeah. Give yourself a hug.
Oh, yeah. Remember to take care of yourself. Be kind to yourself. Love yourself always, because you matter.
Hell yeah, you do.
Well, Eddy, this has been such a blast, and this
time went by. Yeah,
it did. We've been talking for over an hour and a half now. This has been awesome. I've as you could probably tell, I could not stop smiling this entire time.
Yeah, me too. I had such a good time talking to you, Spencer, and it was just it was such a treat to get when you reached out to me. So thank you very much.
Of course. I was, as I said before, I'm very honored to have you on the show and to have you share your story and your experience with listeners at home. Yeah, of course. To anyone who's listening, thank you for just being here with us the whole time. And Spencer, thank you for all the hard work that you do, man. This is such a cool podcast. Thank you. That really means a heck of a lot. So thank you, Eddy. I appreciate that. Dinosaurs. Dinosaurs. But before we go, where in the World Wide Web can people find you? Just so they can follow you, support you, and check out all your work. Oh, yeah, sure. I'm pretty active on Instagram. My handle is, so I love the movie Ready Player One growing up. That movie came out like 5 years ago. What am I talking about? Growing up. No, but I love the book. By, I think it's Ernest Cline. I think it's written by, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, so I loved Ready Player One. So my handle name is Eddy Player One, EDDY, player 01, Eddy Player One. That is my Instagram handle. Add me, reach out to me, whatever. Let's talk. I'm always open to advice to anybody who has a dream. You know the drill, people. You know the drill. You know the drill. Go drop everything you're doing. We'll be right here for a few more minutes, and go follow Eddy. Go give him lots of love and support, because he's awesome. Oh, you guys, thank you so much. And thank you, Spencer. Of course. And round of applause, as always. A round of applause. Round of applause. This has been such a delight, Eddy. So thank you for being on the podcast today. Oh, yeah, no, thank you for, I don't know, human interaction matters. And like I said, it's pretty lonely in the booth. So it's a good thing we have padded walls in these booths, because like I know we're going crazy. I know. The most I'm like, ooh, I'm feeling wild today. Wow. You know what I mean? So I don't like it. Green. There we go. Perfect. And color coded for the podcast too. Exactly. That was great. And dinosaurs is all good. I love it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has been such a blast. This has been episode 11 of Are You Saurious? With Eddy de los Reyes. Again, a round of applause. A round of applause. I hope you all have enjoyed yourselves and that you've had a heck of a time hanging out with us today, because I've been smiling this entire time. But until next time, everybody, have a terrific day. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.